They thought we'd just swallow another missed paycheck. Instead, I turned their own system into my weapon. And the first shot, everyone saw it at once. It was Friday. Payday. At least, it was supposed to be. I'd been refreshing my Wells Fargo app like a lunatic since 7 in the morning, sitting at my kitchen counter with a half-empty cup of stale coffee. Rent was due in 3 days. My fridge looked like a college dorm's half a jar of salsa, expired milk, and a 6-pack of cheap beer. And yet, when I opened my banking app, the balance mocked me, $23.17. No paycheck. Again. By the time I got to the office, the Slack channel #payroll-help was already on fire. Meme after meme, Michael Scott screaming, "Eclair bankruptcy," SpongeBob holding out empty pockets, that famous dude poking with a stick, "Come on, do something." Everybody was venting, but behind the jokes was raw panic. Some people had kids, others, medical bills. Nobody could afford another delay. HR dropped the usual line around 9:30. "Hey team, so sorry for the inconvenience. There's been an unexpected banking issue. We expect payroll to clear by Monday." We'd heard this tune before. The unexpected banking issue had shown up 3 times in the last 5 months. And somehow, magically, our CEO Daniel Hart always managed to post Instagram stories from Napa Vineyards on the exact same weekend's payroll was delayed. I tried to laugh it off, but something in me snapped that morning. See, I wasn't just another frustrated employee. I was IT support.
Now imagine what happens next. But before that, smash that like button and hit subscribe, cause the craziest part is just getting started.
Junior DevOps. I knew our systems, our networks, our little cracks and forgotten admin accounts. I wasn't supposed to touch most of them. I was a small cog, not a wizard. But when you're locked in the server room at PM fixing other people's crap, you start noticing things. Like the fact that our corporate signage, those huge LED panels in the lobby, the break rooms, the conference halls ran on a Rise Vision dashboard linked to a service account nobody had touched in years. It was still sitting there, fat and happy, with full admin rights. I didn't plan anything big at first. I just snapped. Around 10 that morning, after yet another Slack DM from HR telling me to be patient, I opened up the dashboard. My hands were shaking. I typed in one stupid slide, swapped it in place of Daniel's favorite motivational bullshit, "Hustle harder, dream bigger." 5 minutes later, every screen in the building flashed a new message. "Pay people harder, dream smaller." The office exploded. At first, people thought it was a prank. Laughter rolled through the open space. Phones came out, everyone snapping photos, sending them into Slack. Even I chuckled behind my monitor, pretending to be just another confused employee. HR panicked. "We're investigating this incident," Carrie, the HR director, posted immediately. But the damage was done. For once, people weren't just complaining, they were laughing at the company, at Daniel. That was new. And God, it felt good. But then something shifted. Around noon, Daniel himself strolled through the lobby. He didn't notice me standing near the coffee machine, but I saw him stop in front of one of the big LED walls. He tilted his head, eyes narrowing, jaw tightening. A couple of managers followed behind him, looking like nervous puppies. He didn't yell. He didn't even frown. He just took out his phone, typed something, and walked away. That should have been the end of it. A dumb prank. A vent. But back at my desk, curiosity ate at me. I pulled up the signage dashboard again. That admin account? Still wide open. No one had touched it. No one even seemed to know it existed. And that's when I thought, what if I pushed it a little further? Not memes, not jokes, facts, numbers. Because I had receipts. Thanks to my buddy Priya in accounting, I'd seen the payroll sheets. I knew just how late the payments were, and how many employees were living paycheck to paycheck. I'd even seen the budget lines where operational expenses conveniently aligned with Daniel's travel weekends. My finger hovered over the keyboard. In Slack, the mood was shifting. The memes were slowing down, replaced by desperation. My landlord doesn't give a st about banking issues. Anyone else max out their credit card waiting on last month's delay? This is ridiculous. And me? I had the keys to the kingdom. So I made another slide. Simple white text on a black background. Payroll is late by 7 days. This is the 4th time in 5 months. 62 employees unpaid. I hit publish. Within seconds, it replaced the "pay people harder" meme. The laughter died. Phones still came out. But now, the photos weren't funny, they were angry. Furious. Slack exploded again. But this time with rage. Holy ST. Is this true? They can't hide it now. And for the first time, I felt it. Not just relief. Not just mischief. Power. Because for once, I wasn't begging HR for crumbs. I wasn't deeming my manager about when funds would clear. I wasn't refreshing my Wells Fargo app like a desperate idiot. No, for once, they were the ones scrambling. And I had the screens. If episode 1 was me snapping, episode 2 was me realizing how deep this rabbit hole could go. The first prank, the "pay people harder" slide, was stupid fun. The second one, with the facts about payroll, that one hit like a brick. Suddenly, the office wasn't laughing anymore. Slack was chaos, HR was panicking, and Daniel was doing his best poker face. But that admin override entry in the logs, that haunted me. I knew our system inside and out. Nobody touched that signage dashboard. Nobody even remembered it existed. So who the hell was in there with me? I couldn't stop thinking about it, even while pretending to do real work. By 2 in the afternoon, HR sent out a company-wide email. Unauthorized use of internal systems will not be tolerated. Please refrain from speculation or sharing unverified information. Right. Unauthorized. As if paying people on time was optional, but showing numbers on a screen was a crime. People were whispering now. You could hear it in the break room, the bathrooms, the hallways. Who did it? Did you see the slide? What if they know? And the best part, no one suspected me. Not yet. By 3, my DMs started blowing up. Coworkers asking if I knew what was going on. One message from Priya in accounting. Careful, I think they're going to start looking for someone to blame. Wrote back. They always look for someone to blame. Usually us. She didn't reply. That silence got under my skin. I stared at the signage dashboard again. Finger hovering over the mouse. I could end it right there, log out. Never touch it again. Let the chaos burn itself out. But something about Daniel's smug face in my head made me keep going. That Instagram story of him in Napa wine glass, vineyard in the background, caption, grind now, sip later. I wanted to throw my laptop at the wall, so I decided to go for round 3. Not jokes, not just facts, something that would hit where it hurt. I started digging through some old logs, payroll exports, little accounting breadcrumbs Priya had accidentally left open during one of our late nights in the office. There it was. Transactions labeled operational expenses. Dates matched up perfectly with payroll delays. And when I cross-referenced the merchant IDs, yeah, they weren't operations. They were luxury hotels and wineries. I slapped the receipts onto a slide. Clean, simple, white background, bold black text. While payroll is delayed, $7,430.12 spent at Napa Valley Reserve. CEO, Daniel Hart. I hit publish, and holy ST, the reaction was nuclear. Phones whipped out. Slack detonated. Even people in other offices across states were posting screenshots. The New York team chimed in, WTF. Is this real? Someone in Denver. Is this company-wide or just Austin? The whole empire was watching. I sat there pretending to debug a ticket, my heart pounding like I just robbed a bank. And then, like a cherry on top, one of the managers stormed past my desk, face red as a stop sign, yelling into his phone, shut it down. Shut it the FK down. But here's the kicker. They couldn't. HR tried. Facilities tried. Hell, I think Daniel himself called the IT director, but that service account was a forgotten relic, and whoever had set it up had given it read-only override permissions. Meaning, they could see what was happening, but they couldn't kill it. Not unless they nuked the entire signage system. So yeah, I was untouchable, or so I thought. At 5, when most people were packing up, the lobby screen suddenly went black. My stomach dropped. Had they figured it out? Had they finally killed my access? Then a single slide popped up. white text, black background, just like mine. Only this one wasn't from me. Payroll delayed equals fourth time. Check the books. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't even a dig. It was just confirmation. A calm, surgical fact drop. My skin prickled. Someone else was in here. Someone with the same access, the same style. And now, everyone in the office was staring at the screen like it was some kind of oracle. The managers panicked. Daniel disappeared into a glass conference room with HR and the finance team. People crowded around the screens, whispering, snapping more photos, sending them God knows where. And me, I was sitting at my desk, trying not to sweat through my shirt, thinking, who the hell just joined the fight? That night, as I packed up, I checked Slack one more time. In the chaos of memes, screenshots, and outrage, a private DM slid in from a user I didn't recognize. No profile pic, just a gray placeholder. Message, not alone. Don't screw it up. The DM haunted me the whole night. Not alone. Don't screw it up. Who the hell was this? A coworker? Another pissed off IT guy? An auditor? My mind spun through possibilities as I lay awake staring at the ceiling fan, the light from my phone screen glowing on my face. By Monday morning, the office felt different. People weren't laughing anymore. They weren't even whispering. They were flat out watching the screens like addicts, waiting for the next hit. Like the panels had turned into our own corporate CNN. HR tried to kill the vibe with a cheerful email. Happy Monday, team. Coffee and bagels in the break room. Start the week strong. Nobody gave a damn about bagels. At 10 sharp, the screens lit up again. This time, not by me. Payroll, delayed 7 days. Total owed, 384, 219, 12. My jaw dropped. The numbers were too specific, too recent. I hadn't posted it, which meant my ghost partner had access to the freshest data, probably from inside finance. That's when my Slack pinged. Priya, check your email. Sent you something. Don't open here. I ducked into the server room. Heart pound, laptop balanced on a rolling chair. Her attachment was a CSV file. Raw numbers, transactions, timestamps. And right there, in black and white, payroll batches created but marked held. Funds were routed to operational expenses. Operational my ass. I scrolled down the ledger, and my eyes nearly popped. Payments to Napa Valley Reserve. Four Seasons Hotel in Dallas. A F-ing Rolex boutique. This wasn't just incompetence. It was theft. I wanted to laugh and puke at the same time. My boss was literally using our paychecks like his personal Amex. So I did what any pissed off underpaid techie would do. I made slides. Simple, brutal, receipts right on screen. While payroll delayed, $7,430.12 Napa Valley Reserve, 5893, 55 for Seasons Dallas, 11, 20000 Rolex, Highland Park Village. At first, silence. People froze at their desks. Then came the gasps, the swearing. Phones whipped out like pistols. Slack lit up like a bonfire. Even remote employees in New York and Denver were posting, WTF is going on in Austin? Daniel's empire was cracking. But then the pushback hit. Carrie from HR posted, these figures are fabricated. Please don't spread misinformation. 2 minutes later, someone screenshot the Rolex line and tweeted it with hashtag FleetForge. By lunch, it had over 3,000 retweets. The building was buzzing like a hornet's nest. Managers rushing around. Daniel holed up in the glass fishbowl conference room, red-faced, waving his hands while some VP looked like she wanted to vanish into the carpet. And me? My hands were still shaking as I stared at the logs. That admin override appeared again. Only this time, whoever it was had posted my slides before I hit publish. They had the file. They had the receipts. Which meant two things. They were inside accounting. They were watching me. At 3 p.m., the final blow landed. The lobby screen went full video mode. Not text. Not slides. Actual video. Clips ripped straight from Daniel's Instagram stories. Him swirling wine, holding up a Rolex bag, lounging by a hotel pool. Date stamps right there, side by side with payroll delays. The entire office stopped breathing. Someone yelled, Holy ST, it's real. Phones rose like a stadium at kickoff. People were live streaming, recording, blasting it online. There was no walking this back. And then Daniel himself stormed into the line, eyes blazing, shouting, "Shut it off. Shut it the F down." But the screens didn't care. The video kept looping, louder each time. By Tuesday morning, you couldn't walk into the office without feeling the tension hum in the air. People weren't even pretending to work anymore. Slack was a war zone. Twitter was roasting our company alive, and Daniel decided it was time to set the record straight. He scheduled an emergency town hall at noon. Subject line in the invite: transparency and moving forward. The irony made me laugh so hard I nearly spit my coffee. At 12 sharp, we all crammed into the lobby. Rows of plastic chairs, everyone clutching their phones like weapons. Daniel walked up front in his perfect tailored suit, hair slicked back, his trademark fake grin plastered on. Behind him, Carrie from HR hovered like a nervous chihuahua. He cleared his throat. "Team, I know the last few days have been confusing. I want to assure you that payroll is being processed as we speak. Funds are on their way. There's no need to panic." A murmur rippled through the crowd. No one bought it. You could practically taste the anger. Daniel kept going. "These so-called slides you've seen are doctored. Misinformation. Someone with unauthorized access is trying to damage this company, to damage me, and I promise they will be found and removed." I felt my stomach twist. Removed? Like we were trash. Then it happened. Right as Daniel paused for dramatic effect, every single LED screen behind him flickered. The audience gasped. His face froze mid-smile, and then the feed cut to video. Not mine. Not from my dashboard. Something else. The screens played clips, real clips of Daniel's Instagram stories. Him clinking glasses of Cabernet, lounging at the Four Seasons, Rolex bag dangling from his wrist. Then bold captions appeared, timed perfectly with each clip. Payroll delayed 7 days. Employees owed 62. CEO spent 24. 523. 67. The room exploded. Half the employees cheered, half shouted. Phones shot into the air, recording every second. Daniel turned scarlet. He spun around, yelling at the screens, then back at us. "This is a lie. This is slander." But the screens weren't finished. The video cut to a spreadsheet screenshot. Clean, unedited, time-stamped. Payroll batches marked on hold. Directly beside them, merchant codes for Napa Valley Reserve and Rolex. This wasn't a prank anymore. This was evidence. Daniel lost it. He slammed his hand on the podium. "Enough. Whoever is doing this, you are finished. Criminal charges, prison." But then the final blow came. One more slide, stark and chilling. IT isn't just him. Silence. Absolute silence. Everyone looked at each other. Not just Daniel. Who else? HR? Finance? Investors? The entire leadership? Daniel's eyes darted around the room like a trapped animal. Carrie looked like she might faint. Managers shuffled their feet, pale as ghosts. And me? My heart pounded so loud, I thought everyone could hear it. Because that slide hadn't come from me. Someone else was in the system. Someone smarter. Someone with more access. And they weren't done. By Wednesday morning, the office was a war zone. Not literally, but the looks, the whispers, the tension, you could cut it with a knife. Nobody was working. Everyone was waiting for the next slide, the next video, the next truth bomb. Except leadership. Leadership was hunting. At 10 a.m., my badge wouldn't open the server room. That was my first red flag. The second was an email from HR. "Please come to conference room B at 11 for a conversation." Conversation? Yeah, right. When I walked in, Daniel was already there. Suit perfectly pressed, fake smile gone. Carrie sat beside him, laptop open, eyes darting everywhere but me. "Max," Daniel started, voice calm but sharp. "We've traced irregular activity to your credentials. Care to explain?" My mouth went dry. They had something. Logs? Maybe. Proof? Not yet. I forced a laugh. "Irregular? You mean like payroll being late for times in 5 months?" Daniel's jaw clenched. Carrie jumped in. "This is serious. System sabotage is a crime. We can involve law enforcement if necessary. Inside, I was screaming. Outside, I play dumb. Look, I don't even have access to signage systems. Ask IT. My job's tickets and patches, not screen management. Daniel leaned forward, eyes drilling into me. Whoever's doing this will regret it. I built this company, and nobody makes a fool of me. The irony almost made me laugh in his face. But I bit my tongue. They let me go after 20 minutes of threats wrapped in corporate jargon. We'll be reviewing access logs. Termination is on the table. Cooperate, and this will be easier. As I walked out, Lucas, the night shift security guy, caught me by the elevators. He muttered under his breath, "Careful, override didn't come from your machine. They're looking in the wrong place." I froze. "How do you know?" He shrugged, eyes shifting. "I saw the logs. Just watch your back." Then he walked away before I could ask more. By the afternoon, Slack was quieter, not because people stopped caring, but because everyone was terrified. HR had started deeming individuals, reminding them about NDAs and professional conduct. Screens stayed blank. For the first time in days, the chaos paused. But silence was worse. It felt like waiting for a bomb. At 5, my phone buzzed. Another DM from the gray placeholder account. "Don't let them frame you. Check the p-admin folder." My chest tightened. P-admin, that was the old ghost account. The one nobody should be using. I logged in after everyone left, heart pounding. And there it was, a scheduled script. Slides queued up for the next morning. Receipts, transactions, screenshots. All signed P-admin. And the kicker? The timestamp said the script had been created from a workstation I'd never touched, which meant someone else was orchestrating this entire show. And if Daniel pinned it on me, I was screwed. Thursday morning, the air in the office felt radioactive. Nobody said it out loud, but we all knew something was coming. At 9 sharp, the screens lit up. Not mine. Not from my hand. Payroll, partially cleared. $192,000 still missing. Leadership transactions. See receipts. And then boom, screenshots of Daniel's corporate card. Wine, hotels, Rolex. Employees gasped. Some clapped. Others just stared in shock. Daniel stormed into the lobby like a man on fire, shouting, pointing, demanding silence. But the screens didn't stop. The final slide flickered up. Bold, clean, brutal. Pay them. Then talk. Silence. Heavy, crushing silence. For the first time, Daniel had no words. HR froze. Managers looked at their shoes. And the crowd? They were done being scared. Phones recorded everything. The truth was out. But here's the twist. That afternoon, Daniel sent a company-wide email. The information displayed was manipulated. Screens were hacked. Videos edited. Payroll issue has been resolved. Edited. Manipulated. His word against ours. And then my inbox ping. A new message from the gray placeholder account. An attachment. A video. I clicked. My blood ran cold. It was me, or at least it looked like me, sitting at a workstation, typing, uploading slides. Timestamped last night. Wearing my jacket, my movements. But I knew one thing. I wasn't there. Someone had footage. Someone had planted me. The screen went dark, and I realized, in this game, truth didn't matter. Only whose version made it to the screens first.